Ladies and gentlemen, gather round because we've got one of the most shocking trade stories in NFL history. I'm talking about none other than the legendary Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, pulling off a jaw-dropping, historic trade for none other than Tyreek Hill. This news is huge, and when I say it's huge, I mean the ramifications of this trade are going to rock the entire NFL world. I know some of you are thinking, wait a second. Jerry Jones and Tyreek Hill? How could that happen? Well, buckle up, because this trade has some serious implications. If you think you know how the NFL works, trust me, this trade is going to challenge your assumptions about player movement, team strategies, and the very fabric of competitive balance in the league. Let's set the scene. For years, Jerry Jones has been a bold and often controversial figure in the NFL. His love for the Dallas Cowboys is undeniable. He's been the one constant through all the highs and lows of this team. Through Super Bowls and playoff disappointments, Jerry Jones has remained one of the most powerful figures in football. But here's the thing, Jerry isn't just about nostalgia. He's always been looking toward the future. He's always thinking about how to push the Cowboys back to the top of the NFL hierarchy. And in recent years, one glaring problem for the Cowboys has been their offensive firepower. Yes, they've had some great players, but there's been this sense that they'd been missing a certain spark, a game changer who could turn a good team into a great one. And what do you know? Jerry Jones has made the unthinkable happen. Now, let's talk about the man at the center of this trade, Tyreek Hill. For those who might not be familiar, Hill is one of the most electrifying players in the NFL. Known for his jaw-dropping speed, unbelievable agility, and ability to change the game in an instant, Hill has terrorized defenses for years. From his early days with the Kansas City Chiefs, where he formed one of the most lethal duos in NFL history with quarterback Patrick Mahomes, to his more recent stint with the Miami Dolphins, Hill has proven time and again that he's a game changer. Hill isn't just fast, he's dynamic. Whether it's breaking away from defenders on a deep route, making an insane catch, or turning a short pass into a 60-yard touchdown, Hill has the ability to take over games like few others in the league. Now, let's rewind a little bit. The Kansas City Chiefs had Hill, but after a contract dispute, a trade was on the horizon. Hill was traded to the Miami Dolphins, and many people thought that was the last we'd see of him in Kansas City. In Miami, Hill continued to perform at an elite level, and the Dolphins' offense took on a new dimension. But what if, just what if, there was a chance for Hill to come back to Texas? What if, somehow, Hill found his way back into the spotlight, back into a system that would allow him to show off his skills on a grand stage? That's where Jerry Jones comes in. With the Cowboys looking for that missing piece, Hill was the perfect fit. Let's talk about the Cowboys' need for a player like Tyreek Hill. We all know that the Cowboys have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL. Dak Prescott at quarterback, an offensive line that can hold its ground, and running back Tony Pollard making big plays when needed. But the Cowboys have struggled to put together a truly elite receiving corps. CeeDee Lamb is a star, no question about it, but he's often been double-teamed or the focal point of defenses. Dallas needed a second receiver who could take the heat off Lamb, someone who could stretch the field and make defenses pick their poison. That's where Hill comes in. Think about it, Hill and Lamb lined up on opposite sides of the field. Defenses would have to pick their poison. Do they double-team Hill and risk leaving Lamb one-on-one? Or do they cover Lamb and let Hill burn them with his world-class speed? The possibilities were endless, and Jerry Jones saw that potential. Now, let's get into the nuts and bolts of the trade. Jerry Jones wasn't about to let this opportunity slip through his fingers, and he was willing to give up quite a bit to secure Hill's services. We don't have all the details just yet, but early reports suggest that this trade involved multiple first-round picks, a few high-value players, and of course, some serious financial maneuvering to fit Hill's hefty contract under the Cowboys' salary cap. The Dallas Cowboys are all in on this trade, and they're showing just how committed they are to getting back to the Super Bowl. Now, as with any trade of this magnitude, there are plenty of questions. Can Hill adapt to a new offense and build chemistry with Dak Prescott? Will his speed still be as lethal at this stage of his career? And most importantly, how will this affect the Cowboys' championship aspirations? Let's break down what this means for the Cowboys. First, this trade puts them in direct competition with the top teams in the NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, and the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. These are all teams the Cowboys will have to face to get to the big game. But with Tyreek Hill on the roster, the Cowboys now have a legitimate chance of going toe-to-toe with these elite squads. Hill brings an extra dimension to the Cowboys' offense that no other team in the league has. That deep threat? It's real. The ability to stretch the field with speed and precision? That's Hill's bread and butter. Opposing teams are going to have nightmares trying to figure out how to stop this offense. But the impact doesn't stop there. Tyreek Hill's presence will also open up opportunities for other players on the roster. CeeDee Lamb, for instance, will now have even more room to operate. The Cowboys can design more creative routes, knowing that Hill will force defenses to cover more ground. Dak Prescott, too, is going to benefit from this trade. Prescott has always been known for his strong arm, but he's had to deal with inconsistent receiving options throughout his career. With Hill on the roster, Prescott can now take more risks, knowing that Hill's speed can get him open even when the defense is tight. This trade could unlock a new level of play from Prescott and the entire offense. But we have to ask, is there a downside to this trade? Is there any risk involved? Of course there is. With any blockbuster move like this, there's always a chance that things won't work out as planned. Injuries, chemistry issues, or even just bad luck can throw a wrench into the works. But in this case, Jerry Jones is betting that the rewards outweigh the risks. And with Hill's proven track record, his ability to turn a game on its head with just one play, this trade is likely to be a game changer for the Cowboys. And let's not forget about the cultural impact. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the most iconic sports franchises in the world, and adding a player like Tyreek Hill only enhances their global brand. The media attention, the fan excitement, and the buzz surrounding this move are going to take the Cowboys to new heights in terms of exposure and relevance. So, what does this mean for Tyreek Hill? Hill is about to enter a new chapter in his career, and it could be the best one yet. He's going from a Miami team that's been good but not great to one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. And let's face it, Hill loves the spotlight. He's always been a player who thrives in big moments, and playing for the Cowboys will give him more opportunities than ever to show off his skills. The question is, will Hill be able to carry the weight of that spotlight? The Cowboys are expecting nothing less than a Super Bowl run, and Hill will be expected to play a key role in making that happen. But there's another layer to this. Tyreek Hill's arrival in Dallas also shifts the balance of power in the NFL. Teams are going to have to adjust to a Cowboys offense that's now arguably one of the most potent in the league. Hill's speed, paired with Lamb's ability to make spectacular catches, makes the Cowboys one of the most dangerous teams on paper. Can the rest of the NFL catch up? Time will tell. As we wrap this up, let's talk about what's next. For the Dallas Cowboys, this trade is just the beginning. Jerry Jones has made it clear that he's not content with simply being competitive. He wants to win championships. And with Tyreek Hill in the fold, the Cowboys are as well positioned as ever to make a run at the Super Bowl. The question now is, can they deliver? With a high-powered offense, a solid defense, and the leadership of Jerry Jones, the Cowboys are looking like a team to watch for years to come. Stay tuned, folks, because this season is going to be one for the history books.